Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Ready to Love, Season 8, Episode 4. So, first we get into the ladies coming together for a brunch.
Yeah.
This is Kat's first time meeting all the ladies. Everybody is like, ooh, who is she? She's beautiful. She's tall, long legs. Like, everyone is just like peeping her out.
She cool.
Yes. And then we see Tommy come in. And he talks about how the ladies will meet. Is that when he came in? Or they were talking about Christopher first?
What are you talking about?
The ladies were talking about that some other ladies, they'll be meeting Christopher.
Yeah, because all of the ladies didn't meet Christopher.
Yeah, they haven't met him yet.
So some of them did meet him, but the others didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so Tommy announces that they're going to be going to a hoedown. This is going to be their group date mixer. Yeah. So
to everybody meets everybody.
Yeah. So the first dates that we see is Sierra and Morier. She asks him, has he ever been married before? And he was saying that he's never been married before. He explains the situation with his mother's child and, you know, how she never let go of her ex. But he does want to have a relationship for his child to see a man of him loving a woman properly. Yeah. Yeah. And he feels really calm with Sierra, and the date went really smooth, and they seem to get along, so that was cute.
Yeah, he said she gives like a girl next door vibe. I don't see the romance between them two.
Yeah, I didn't really see much either.
Like, I think like they've been communicating like off camera and things like that, like talking, and he did say like he do feel like she's like the most genuine person like out of everybody. So like he feels comfortable talking to her and just hanging out with her. I do like their interactions, but I don't know if I feel a romantic connection between them two. And also mainly she just comes off to me as someone that I won't be attracted to. She just comes as somebody that like I'd be best friends with. So that's why I say like the girl next door. It's cool that you got the girl next door vibe, but sometimes the negative thing about that is that like you're the girl next door. You basically play football with the guys. You basically hang out with the guys, and you basically like the little sister to the guys sometimes.
Yeah, the homie.
Yeah, besides actually being the girl next door sometimes that the guy likes. Yeah. You know, so she gives me that type of vibe as she hangs out with the guys and be homies with the guys.
Next, Lee invites Red on a date.
Shout out to Red.
Yeah, him. So she is saying that she's never really talked to him, really gave him a chance. She's trying to go on this date just to get to learn a little bit more about him.
She's stepping out of her comfort zone.
Right,
she said.
Stepping out of her comfort zone. So she's trying to see if this is going to work. So she's opening up the conversation. The conversation's already kind of awkward. Like when they sit down, it's not easy flowing conversation the same way that it was with Sierra and Morier. So she's just asking him like, you know, are you hopeful about the women here or how things are going? And he was just saying, well, I don't want to focus or talk about anyone else. I just want to focus on us on this date.
Nice.
And I'm just like, fair. However, you could have just said, I'm hopeful for the experience. You know, I'm enjoying getting to know everybody. You didn't have to talk. You didn't have to dead the conversation before it even really started. So I just felt like he was kind of like a little harsh with that response. But it was, I mean, whatever. So she asked for him to show his personality. He's very reserved.
Okay.
Not very playful or flirtatious, to be honest. And he talks about how, you know, he worked as a 9-to-5
in corporate.
Yeah, in corporate America. He goes through his resume and how he worked as a DJ for the weekends at first. And it's sounding like a business meeting, like an interview or something.
Yeah.
And his thing is that he wants someone to want to be with him without all the glitz and the glamour and the lights. And he's like, what do you want? Bottle service? Like, how do you want me to entertain you type of thing?
Yeah.
But I I can see what he's saying as far as like I'm not, an entertainer all the time. Like I'm a relaxed, normal person like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on these dates and you're trying to get to know people, it would be nice if he cracked a joke here or there, or like had a little bit of fun, or just lighten the mood. It just seems always so like serious with him. So that was my perspective on the date. What'd you think?
What was her name again?
Lee.
I think she gave a terrible date. I think the way that the date was, it was her fault. If I was to split it, I'd do 80-20. I said 20% is probably his fault, 80% her fault. You can't criticize someone of being boring when you're boring yourself. She did not offer no great conversation. She did not lead the conversation. She called him out to the date. And yet she did not offer anything of herself. I ain't learned nothing about her during this date either. Now, granted, if I was to go back 2 episodes ago, there was a point to where they did ask Red to be, basically, if you are the comedian, if you are the entertainer, like, we don't see that. Yeah. Like basically, like, turn it up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to turn it up. So he goes to this date, and she's already, I can tell she was apprehensive about the date, because she said it. She says, I'm stepping out of my zone. I'm just basically doing this just to basically, if I was to put words in her mouth, to give myself a pat on the back for trying, for stepping out the zone. But she wasn't interested in Red. So when he begins to talk about basically his resume, it did feel like an interview, or like it did feel like that type of vibe, because you didn't offer anything fun about yourself. You didn't offer anything entertaining about yourself. You put all the pressure on Red to basically say, prove to me or show me why we should have a connection. Mm-hmm. And that's too much pressure for one person to have in a date, especially if y'all had no prior connection before these 3 prior episodes. What do you feel about that?
I feel like in this setting she did ask him out on the date, but maybe just my mindset about some roles in dating and courting and things like that. It doesn't matter if she put the pressure on him to be interesting or engaging or anything like that. Like, I feel like as the man, if you want to get to know this woman, you find her attractive, like, you're going to create a comfortable environment. I don't feel like it's on her to do that. I mean, it does take 2 to have a successful date. I felt like she was trying to talk to him. He wasn't really leading it anywhere.
You felt like she was trying to talk to him?
I mean, she did ask him questions. Were they the best questions? No.
What was the first question that she asked
how are you enjoying the process? Do you have hope
with everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
But this is a date about us.
Yeah.
So why are you asking me about everybody else? That's a throwaway question. That is a question that basically lets me know you have nothing to say. That's basically like, hey,
I'm saying he could have made lemonade out of lemons, and he didn't.
But why are you giving me lemons? Like, my whole thing is, you can't tell me that I'm boring if you're boring. like she's boring. Mm-hmm. As much, and her name is Lee, you say?
Yeah.
What do we know about Lee besides her being a health and wellness coach? What else do we know about her?
Not much.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally nothing. So she haven't shown herself these past 4 episodes to be interesting. She is beautiful. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? But other than that, there's nothing about it that we know.
But I also feel like Red puts himself in a position to where people want to see that side of him, because he talks about his career the way he does, and how he's known, and how he has good relationships with folks, and he really puts himself in a space of I'm really that guy, and I really have a great time, and I get the party going. So when you talk about yourself in that way and you don't present that way, and she's expecting in the date just to kind of be like, okay, well, let me see this is how he describes himself, like, let's see what the interaction is, and it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I understand that part too.
Yeah.
That's why I said I give him 20%. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my 80% of me saying that she's boring will be proving the more we go into this review.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I also feel like for, pretty much men don't put it on women, and especially really attractive women, to have the best personality. So that's not even something really that
I'm not even gonna say that's fair, because
it's not fair, but it's true.
I won't even say that's true,
Okay.
because my thing is, we know about Janelle. We even know about the last girl, Sierra. Her name is Sierra. Mm-hmm. We know about Eris. We even know about Enoch. And stuff like that. Right. We don't know nothing about this girl Lee besides she's a wellness coach.
Yeah.
And guess what? Janelle ain't no performer. Enoch, even though she is what she is about unique, as in she have a tough interior, that is something that we can at least draw from. Mm-hmm. There's nothing about Lee that we can draw from besides her profession. Literally nothing. And we're 4 episodes in.
Yeah. Okay.
But I digress.
All right.
And this may make it sound like I got something against Lee, but I really don't.
Yeah, you just feel like it's unfair for her to say he's boring when she's boring
when
too.
you haven't shown anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Continue.
So the guys and the ladies meet up for the hoedown. Tommy comes. He brings a bunch of black cowboys and explains how they're like on like black-owned land.
Shout out.
And the ladies have to eliminate tonight. So Chris, he announces that he has to leave to go get an award for his job, or for his company, and he's going to have to leave early.
Shout out to Chris for the story, for not for getting out of that dancing at the end, basically. No, but if he did get an award for his company, congratulations to Chris.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna draw back to that once we get further in the review, because there's something interesting that I think you missed. That I'm gonna point out.
Okay. Next we go to Quentin and Janelle. Janelle sitting on Quentin. This is just a quick conversation. She says the next guy she dates, she want him to be able to pick her up.
Pick her up, Quentin.
And then we see Christopher. He's getting acquainted to some of the ladies. He has a pretty good second conversation with Unique. The first time around, he was rubbed the wrong way just because she was saying she doesn't play and stuff like that. So he didn't really know how to take that. But in this conversation, like, she's opening up a little bit and like seeing him and saying how, he seems to have a tough exterior, and just kind of trying to relate to him in a way. And he's liking it. He's liking it now.
Yeah.
I was saying I could see them together.
Okay. Thank you for the notes. Okay.
Yeah. Janelle and Herbert, they're laying on a hammock, and she's talking to him about how at her granny's house she used to swing on the porch, and Herbert tries to get a little bit of motion going so they can have a little bit of a swing. So I thought that was cute. Then Quentin comes over trying to say like they're too close.
You're too close to my woman, man.
Exactly. But they don't pay him no mind. Janelle, she's like getting a little high off of the guys both being into her.
These are 2 of her connections.
Yeah, her top 2
She ain't
guys.
looking at nobody else except for Quentin and Herbert.
Right.
And I will say that is a plus for Herbert. Because if you was to look at Quentin, you see how he came to the hoedown.
Chest out,
oily and everything. You know what I mean? Chest out, everything. Herbert came dressed looking like, like a grown man, like denim and stuff like that. But if you were just to look at Quentin, you would think, oh, he got it in the bag. But the fact that Herbert is right there and she really can't decide, because it literally she said, depending on the conversation that we have, they flip-flop. So it'd be 1 and 2. Guess what? She had a conversation with Quentin. He's number 1, right? And the next thing you know, she's swinging on the hammock. Hammock. Oh, okay. I sure got it right. They swinging. Now he's number 1. So like that right there already lets me know, based off of my experience on watching this show 4 episodes in, sometimes it's good to lock in on one person. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to lock in on one person to be safe, especially since it's the week that the women got the power. Yeah. All
right. Next, we get to the scene that we've been waiting for this episode.
Have we?
Yeah, because it was in the preview. So I was just
Okay.
like, well, I'm trying to see who he's big talking himself up to, about, and for. Like, where did this come from?
Oh boy.
So Red goes to Unique.
Red.
I don't know why he's going to talk to her again. She does not like you. She does not like to talk to you.
Well, he tell us why he go talk to Unique in the episode.
Yeah, well, he goes to talk to her because he wants to smooth things over.
Yes.
He feels like, with the women having the power this week, he doesn't want there to be any negativity surrounding him and his name.
Yes.
So he's going to talk to her to try to clear things up and make sure they're good. He didn't come with that energy to me.
You don't think so?
No.
I agree.
felt like when he came, he was, talking about how he doesn't like negativity, but it wasn't in a way of like, yeah, like, I'm a peaceful guy. It was like, I don't do negativity.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Okay.
That is not me, and that is not what I'm about.
Vibes.
And it's just like, okay, so are you saying it what I'm about? Like, he came with the wrong energy to me. So, he was saying that he felt that Unique didn't give him a chance, that he doesn't really know him, to be able to say whether she doesn't like him or something. They only had a 15-minute conversation. Unique is saying, well, it was probably less than that. And, I made a joke. You didn't find my joke funny.
Yeah. He said, because she basically said to correct, he said, so you think you know me in a 30-minute conversation. And she said, it was less than that. I kind of know what you about. And that kind of made him kind of turn up.
Yeah.
In a way. Which I don't understand, Red.
Yeah.
Do you understand why he turned up the way he turned up, Blair?
I think because he probably really thinks highly of himself. And if you're coming across somebody who maybe you feel like they see through you or whatever, or they don't see the value in you that you think you are or know
when you
are.
say through you, what do you mean by through you? As it actually read you correctly?
Yeah, like I don't know if she's reading him correctly or not, but I'm just saying, like, I think he's got some insecurity when it comes to his job or like his persona or something.
Listen, what did he call himself? He said, "I'm Red. I am what?"
That guy.
No. What? You have it written down in your notes. I'm trying to throw you the alley oop, Blair. I'm trying to help.
He said he's the king of the city.
He's the king of the city. As the king, you have to recognize and be, what's the word? You have to be discerning to know when to wage war and when to show peace. To Blair's point, he should have came initially and say, let's take a walk. You know what? I'm sorry. I apologize. Because remember, he tried to correct it last time.
And got into an argument.
So,
like, how are you getting into these arguments if you're coming with the good intentions?
As the king, as what? The king of the city?
King of the city.
You got to know when to wage war and when to wage peace. When to show peace, you were like, you know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was sensitive about that comment, which I really don't understand. I was sensitive about that, and I apologize for, basically just apologize for the whole interaction.
Yeah.
But she was right about him. Even though, because I was even kind of taken aback of why was he like so sensitive, or why did he take it so disrespectful that she called it a thought job? I thought she was trying to be funny and it just kind of landed kind of like
awkwardly.
Yeah. But as a comedian, there's a whole bunch of jokes I'm sure he said
that landed wrong.
That didn't land. Like, all your jokes don't land correctly. There's jokes that I say that doesn't land correctly. But that doesn't take away the fact that it was a joke. So even she said, like, I was joking with you, but you sensitive. So now she's really reading you, and now what you're doing now, you're causing a scene.
And you're showing how sensitive you are.
And now people who may not have had a bad interaction with you, seeing how you having a bad interaction with somebody else, and now they can be influenced to basically not keep you around.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they don't like seeing men argue with women.
No.
So you sitting over here getting loud with a woman.
Exactly.
They can't even hear what she's saying, but they hear you loud and clear talking about king of the city. So, and they're like, oh, no.
What's going on over there? You get what I'm saying? So now you being a disruptor You get what I'm saying? If you are the king of the city, you have to know, hey, this is the time to where the women have the power. So I need to humble myself and, for one, be like, let's take a walk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And you don't even have to be sorry for your actions. You could be sorry that y'all got off on the wrong foot.
Is that just sorry?
You know?
Because she already had, or basically you could just start off the conversation of, be honest with me. What is your true feelings about me? And then when she reads you like she did.
And she feels the same.
And then you just say, I'm sorry. Like.
Yeah, or even, I'm sorry you got that.
The whole point.
Perception of me.
No, don't say that, because that kind of put it on the other person. Dude, you know how people be like, I'm sorry that you felt that way?
Yeah.
Remember, you're trying to make it to next week.
Yeah.
So just lie. Even if you're not sorry, Red. Make it to next week, buddy.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If one person just feels something about you, there's other women that can basically like not agree. But since you having this big moment and not everybody's looking, and they be like, you know what? Lee saying, you know what? I didn't have a good date with Red. And you know what? I'm happy I didn't get to see that side of him. And guess what? Somebody else, Janelle, who really don't have nothing bad against to say about you, and just be like, you know what? I'm really feeling Quentin and Herbert anyway, so I don't really care if he goes in.
Like, yeah, nobody's fighting for you.
Exactly. And guess what? I'm happy you said that. That fighting for you. I don't know if you got it in the notes, but there's a scene, dude, like you have in the notes where Chris leaves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it in the scene when Jessica and Chris walk around, have some pleasantries with everybody, compliments everybody, gives folks hugs, makes his presence known, even though he can't stay there for long, but he wants to leave a good taste in everybody's mouth for him. And so when they think of him for today, they'd be like, oh yeah, he had to go, but we had a good chat. Like, you know, I can't wait to see him next week and hear about his award and whatever the case may be.
Now listen to me. I asked you while we was watching the show, was Jessica one of the first women to show up there? And she was. Yeah. The first two people to show up at the house was Jessica and Chris. Now, honestly, I don't know much about Chris. I don't really see no connection that he has with any of the women there outside of Jessica that he just showed up there with. You don't really see no romance or anything like that. But Jessica took it upon herself to be like, since I know Chris is leaving, let me take him around the other women. Yeah. So he can compliment how they look, basically leave a good impression. And then she walked him to the car. I don't even know if they even have a romance connection. Yeah.
But the thing is, people will be more willing to do things for you if they like you.
Exactly.
If they had a good conversation with you. And like Chris said, like, we don't know whether or not they have a romantic connection. No, but they get along, you know?
Exactly. And guess what? For this week, the week that, quote unquote, the man that spent the least amount of time with everybody is safe. He's safe.
How you do that? By doing what they did. Exactly.
So Red, you there for the whole day, for the whole hold down, and you are potentially on the block. You said for the past 2 weeks or whatever, you have been the bottom. We gonna see if you the bottom this week. But I'm just saying, for the past whatever, the guy that spent the least amount of time is safe. Tommy even said, hopefully we get to see you again, because since you're leaving, that can land you in a predicament. Yeah. But no. If you're a nice guy, even if I don't see a romantic connection with you, let me take him around so he can let the women know, so they can know, like, have a good taste in their mouth about Chris. So guess what? So he can survive the week. The whole point is to, even if I don't have a connection in the first week, the second week, the third week, and even now the fourth week, survive until you do get one. Yeah. I'm disappointed in you, Red. I really am. Yeah. Continue.
So, circling back a little bit in the episode, we see
I got a little fired up.
I'm sorry. It's okay. We see Kira and Marvin having a conversation. And they were in that hammock rocking hella hard, and she had them white boots on again.
Yeah,
So,
you said it was Marvin who it was
Marvin and Kira.
I was like, golly, man. He wasn't trying to let her drink at all. And I'm like, why they rocking so hard? And then the camera zoomed out, and he using his heels to push
to
it.
swing.
I'm like, my goodness, are they rocking hard?
Yeah.
I don't like her.
Well, let's get into their conversation.
Yeah.
So she is expressing to him that she was nervous about him saying that he wanted to move to the Caribbean.
Shout out.
He said that, well, you know, I was making all these decisions and things I want just with me in mind.
Okay.
But if I'm with a partner, like, you know, Texas is a good place to raise a family. Like, I'm not opposed to staying in Texas.
I will consider it. I would consider her feelings.
Yeah, he said he'll consider his partner's feelings regarding their future and what they decide to do.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she feels like he's selling a dream, that he's saying what people want to hear, and all because he said he would consider his partner. Kira is like thought-making, decision-making, discernment nature. I don't know.
She young-minded.
It's very weird to me. Because I'm like...
So when I tell you my dream of what I want to do...
And you asked me what I wanted to do.
And then you come back there with, what if somebody don't want to move down there? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I would consider their feelings as well. Now I'm lying?
Right.
I start off with telling you what I want to do.
Yeah. Like, he can't change his mind, like, once he gets in a relationship with a partner that he cares about and wants to be with.
And who to say that she won't change her mind?
Right.
Like,
does she just stick to one thing and doesn't listen to anybody or anything and just does what she wants all the time? Maybe that's why
she gives off the vibe as if, and this gonna sound mean, as if she's the prize on the show.
Okay.
Meaning that I remember Sierra on the show. Mm-hmm. I remember even Lee on the show, and Lee haven't shown me anything.
Yeah.
I remember Janelle on the show, right? Mm-hmm. I remember even the new chick, the long legs. I think Cat. Let's just say Cat.
Cat long legs.
Cat long legs, right? I don't even remember her name, and you just said it.
Kiera.
Right. like no, you have no connections with any of the guys here, and that's not the guy's fault. The guys have chosen not to connect with you. And now with you actually having a chance to connect with somebody, you think he's selling you something? What do you think the show is?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to tell you about my best self. And Marvin, I think, which is not fair to him because of his profession or what he likes to do in his spare time. I think they just look for holes to poke in whatever he say. Yeah,
I think because they don't like his sex interest things or whatever,
and, truth be told,
and trying to find a reason not to like him.
And truth be told, if he was any other profession that was normal, quote unquote, he haven't said anything. He haven't been disrespectful. He's been nice. He is good looking to a point. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has been. He even took Tequila out.
And he had a good time with her, and he wasn't even feeling her. But he was like, you know what? We're still gonna have a good time.
And guess what? I'm not even gonna hold it against her. So it's like they're trying to put Marvin in this what was his name? Habibi. They trying to make him out as the weirdo. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where he's not even leading with that, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's unfair. I mean, he talks about what he's into because
you ask him.
You ask him, but also that's what his job is. That's where his interests lie.
Yeah.
So people are going to talk about their interests. And just like, circling back again to the conversation, I think he was talking to Lee, and she asked him, would he share some of the things that he's into? And he talks about like a booty worshiping fetish.
We straight didn't get there yet. We still on Kara.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pretty much done with her. Okay. I mean,
well, Kara, bye. You know what I
mean? She feels like he's selling a dream, and I'm just like, okay, he can't consider his partner, whatever. So, oh yeah, that's skipping way past.
You skipped a lot, so that I'm trying to help.
Yeah. So we're going to Kat and Herbert. So Kat really likes Herbert's calmness.
He do got a calm vibe about him.
Yeah,
Right?
and he just seems like someone you could be comfortable around.
Like someone his voice is never gonna reach a certain octave. It's just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
And he shares what the guys were saying about her, that she, is beautiful and tall, and how, she's probably taller than most of the guys. And he was like, well, I'm pretty tall, so sounds like she's perfect for me.
I'm about to say exactly.
So, and then we get to Jessica and Chris.
About how
how they were making
we already
rounds.
said that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
But I wanted to point that out in comparison to Red, to where it's like, even if you may not have a connection, play nice with everybody.
Yeah, don't get into arguments with nobody. Don't argue with anybody.
That's weird. It's weird, but go ahead.
Yeah. Then Tommy shows up. They learn some line dances. Kira was really excited because she was like, I'm the best dancer here, so I'm gonna be the best dancer. But nobody, and I feel like she might have been a little tipsy. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she was truly just really excited. But I'm just like,
so
exactly.
I feel you though. Shout out to you though, Kara.
Yeah. And then Janelle and Quentin get together. They both call each other popular, but they're just happy they can still come back to each other at the end of the day. And he feels like they have a great connection. Yeah. And he could see it go in the distance.
They basically the cool kids of the show.
Yeah, everybody wants a piece of it.
Exactly. Even at the hold down, I think you're missing some parts. Janelle was dancing on Herbert.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was dancing on Herbert. Herbert had his body on her, and she had his body on him. You know what I'm saying?
Body on body.
And guess what Quentin was doing? He was at the front leading the class, shirt open and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him, Aris, and I think it was one other person who was like the best or something like that.
Yeah, him, Aris, and Kira.
Yeah, like, but that just shows that, like, even though Herbert and Janelle is maybe connected in the back and things like that, he may be taking it. Quentin is actually doing his thing with everybody by showing how fun he is.
Yeah,
he's dancing in front of the class, leading and things like that. So everybody can see like he's a fun spirit. You get what I'm saying? And poor Christopher, the new guy, he was just trying to sway with the class. He's just like, okay, everybody moving left, I'm moving left. Everybody moving right, I'm moving right. He said, I can't dance, I ain't got no rhythm. And I said, I feel you, brother.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I feel you. But it's to show that I hate to stick on Red. At that moment, if you would have built a bond or not burned a bridge with Unique, right? You could have played into that and danced with her. Not in a romantic way.
Just a fun,
but in
silly,
a fun, silly.
Yeah, let's have a good night.
To really show you that, like, I'm really over what it was. But you're not, you want to go home.
Yeah.
No. Like, you're tired of coming back to shoot episodes, obviously. Because you're the king of the city.
Yeah.
Like, that's the time where you get to show how entertaining and how fun and how you don't hold grudges. Because obviously you have shown in the past 3 episodes you hold grudges.
Yeah, and you can't have a conversation to smooth things over to save your life.
No. That was your time to go and have a hold down with Unique. Sorry to be on Red again. Right. But yeah, as you can see, Janelle and Quentin, they over there, they over there acting like, woo, we entertained a lot of people today.
Exactly.
And
we had a good old time. Now we can finally talk to each other.
Yes. There was a small scene with Quentin where he was having a competition with Lee. And he said, if I win, I get a kiss on the cheek or something like that. But that's what I'm saying. He's a people's person.
Yeah, he's flirting.
Exactly.
He's being social.
But at the same time, he's getting to the line and not crossing it.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to see these two getting back together like, man, I've been entertaining all these guys today, and you've been entertaining all these girls today, but look at us. You know what I'm saying?
Still feeling each other.
Exactly. So I don't know if they're going to end up together, though. I think he's too young for her.
Yeah.
Because he's only 33.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I think she's 41. I think. I feel
like Herbert's going to fall for Kat.
I think this gonna sound weird. I think she likes him, but I don't think she wants to be serious with him, and I don't think that have shown to be revealed yet.
It just seems that way. Like he's just like fine.
Like basically like she likes feeling courted, like,
Yeah.
because he makes her feel good, like you're beautiful and all that stuff. But when it gets down to when the show is over and y'all back to y'all lives, and he's 33 and you're 41, even though it's not that much difference, y'all have two different lifestyles, I'm sure. It just feels like this is just for a good time, not a long time. But that's just my prediction, me personally.
Yeah. Right. And yep, we go back to Marvin and Lee.
Marvin and Lee.
Yeah. So he was, that was a conversation where he was saying that he liked her red dress when she came in.
Beautiful compliment.
And his goal is to have a wife and a family. And she was asking him, like, monogamous, right? And I'm just like, did he ever say he was into polygamy?
No.
I don't remember him ever saying that.
He never said that.
So I'm like, where are y'all getting this stuff from? Maybe it's edited out, but it's like y'all are like putting 20 on 10 on him. Like, he said he's into sex stuff with his partner. I don't know.
My problem with Lee, it shows here as it showed with her date with Red. She have with this. Okay, this is a quote unquote a better date. Let's just say it's a better date because it's with a better guy. Because you don't really feel Red like that. Have we learned anything about Lee on this date? On this encounter?
No, she just sat back and listened.
You're just sitting back and criticizing. Sitting back and like, I don't like that. Is it poly or like, is it like, you haven't offered anything yet.
True.
So I'm like, yes, it may not be on the woman to lead the date, but show personality or something. And so what that does, it's the reason why I'm so critical of that, because it's a lose-lose situation. If you put yourself in a position to where at the end of when I get done talking, you just get to judge how you feel about what I said, and then you leave me nothing to judge, that gives you all the power.
Yeah. So
my thing is, the minute he said he wants to start a family and things of that nature, she should have shared what she would like. Hey, I want a family too. And I see myself this way, and I see myself that way. But it goes automatically to, the sex thing. Is this with multiple people or this with one person?
Yeah, and I'm just like, y'all are so focused on that. And yes, he expressed that's what he's into, that's what he does.
Yeah.
But he is trying to reveal different parts and different sides of himself. But y'all like don't want to. Y'all, one, want to circle everything back to sex, or Kira don't want to believe nothing he got to say. And the man, like, what is he supposed to do?
And truth be told, he's trying to show you some depth and some family history. He said he feel like it's a responsibility to basically continue the life that his father laid out for him and stuff like that. That the sacrifices that his parents made for him, and he want to continue on. He wants to continue on with that with his family and things of that nature. So then he gets to go on do like you have this in your notes. He goes on to specifically what he likes.
Because she asked. And he goes on to explain the booty worship, oral.
I know what that was.
All this type of stuff. So, I wrote it. I said he goes on and on, basically.
Yeah. He goes on about the things he likes. He talks about the booty worship. Is it booty worship?
Yeah.
He worships the booty, right? And then he goes on talking about these spots on a woman, like talk about the nipples, and I think he even talk about other stuff on a woman's body. And then he talks about oral restraint or something like that, oral restriction, where he got handcuffs connected under the mattress and things like that. And I said, bro, you could have left the handcuffs out.
I was saying he could have left the whole thing out. Honestly, I don't feel like he should have answered that question.
True.
I felt like he could have been like, well, that's something for somebody, to discuss when we're in a bit more of an intimate relationship.
That is true.
Like, and that's something to where you can share what you're into. I can share what I'm into. And that way we can pleasure each other.
Yeah.
And that's a nice way to answer it versus saying, these are all the things I like. And she's like, I ain't feeling it. And I'm just like, well, you really shouldn't know anyway, because you're not even into him like that
whole time.
So you should really only be having those conversations with people who are actually interested in doing those things with
him.
Exactly.
But continue.
So Tommy comes back. He talks to the ladies. They get down to who's in the bottom, and we have Red and Marvin in the bottom, which we saw coming. I still feel like
we saw Red coming.
Yeah, we saw Red coming. I feel like they're unfairly judging Marvin. Like he's been good to me.
But I would say this though,
because
I never watched Ready to Love. If there was anybody else to put in the bottom with Red, who would it be? It wouldn't be Chris. It wouldn't be Herbert. It wouldn't be Quentin. It wouldn't be Morier, because Sierra spoke highly of him, and he also played nice with everybody else. So
True.
nobody don't really got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I would have put up Philip, but Aries is into Philip.
Philip made up a lot of ground that episode.
Yeah, because for me, I'm just like, I'd be forgetting Philip's there.
I was looking for another name.
Yeah,
and you just reminded me of Philip. But Philip is kind of like the guy. Like, well, since Aries got a connection with Philip,
yeah, we'll leave it alone.
And we don't have a problem with Eris, so it's just like it is what it is. Who else? Maybe Christopher. Janelle was the only one who said out loud, like, I don't feel a romantic connection with Christopher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. She said she tries, but she don't really feel it.
But I think that whole him going around speaking to everybody saved him.
Yep, and even then, I think people are more intrigued because he's new.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going.
Oh, I was talking about the other one.
Oh no. I'm talking about Christopher,
the new one.
Yeah. So I don't think a lot of people are going to eliminate him unless he just came in hot. You know what I'm saying? They more like, I don't really know much about him to eliminate him. So there's really nobody else really to put there with Red besides Marvin.
Yeah, because they're just not into what he's into.
So now we getting to the point to where likable people about to start getting eliminated because there's just not enough people to eliminate. There's some unlikable people. Sorry, Kara, Enoch, y'all gonna be on the bottom next week. I'm just predicting. You know what I'm saying?
Unless somebody shows their butt.
Listen here, Kara. It is Kara, right?
Kara.
Kara and Unique. Listen here, and guess what? I do like the thing. Matter of fact, I'm just remembering. The conversation that Christopher had with Unique, that's the conversation Red should have had with Unique.
Yeah.
Because even Christopher said, you came off kind of strong. But then he gave her another shot, and he was like, I get it.
Yeah. And he said she's actually pretty cool.
Exactly. And he told her that. It's not only good to tell the confessional that, but it's good to basically say, this is what I thought of you. And, like, you know what? I enjoyed this conversation with you. So guess what? Unique didn't put Christopher down to eliminate. She put down her art nemesis, Red. So yes, even though it's not fair that Marvin is next to Red is 100% fair while you're there.
Yeah,
we're getting to the point to where the good guys are about to start getting put on the block now because it's just not enough guys.
Yeah, and my only thing with Marvin being at the bottom, like, okay, I get if you're not into him, fine, and I agree that there's really no one else to put him there. But Kira's reasoning for it was just like, what?
You go get yours next week, though.
Like, because he said he would consider his partner, and you don't believe it, or you feel like. The only reason I could understand her saying that is if he's going around telling everybody different things. But it didn't come off that that's what he was doing, because I feel like other people would have spoke up.
No one agreed with what you said, Kara. Like, what do you want him to say?
Yeah, like, I'm going to the Caribbean no matter what my partner says.
And then that's when you would have been like, he's not considerate. He is
like, he could do no right.
Like, so that's why I'm like, it's just not fair.
Yeah. Well, that's all I had.
Yeah. So they did not show us who they eliminate.
Right.
This episode. But in the comments below, who do y'all think is going to be eliminated? I think I know who's going to be eliminated.
I put down Red.
I know it's going to be Red. Okay? Because there's just, they heard you hollering over there in the corner. And
talking about I'm king of the city.
And guess what?
Send him back.
If you're king of the city, where's your queen? You're on the show with me. I'm on the show with the king of the city, and we both ain't got nobody.
Yeah.
But if you are somebody, how come you ain't got nobody? That's just my opinion. Anything else?
That's all. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, man. Y'all be good.